The forest is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, but it's not without danger. You might think of fresh air, peaceful silence, and green landscapes, but when you're deep in the wilderness, nature doesn't care how experienced or unprepared you are. The forest can turn deadly fast, and most people never see it coming. In this video, I'll break down the top 5 forest dangers that can kill you, plus one bonus threat that most beginners completely ignore. Most of these risks have simple solutions, but only if you understand what you're facing. Whether you're camping, hiking, or surviving, this knowledge could save your life. Let's dive into it. When you're deep in the forest, the weather can change without warning, and it's one of the deadliest threats most people underestimate. One minute it's warm and calm, and the next, clouds roll in, temperatures drop, and cold rain starts falling. In the wilderness, that shift is more than uncomfortable. It can kill you through hypothermia. You don't have to be in snow or freezing temperatures for hypothermia to set in. Even in mild climates, if your clothes are wet and the wind picks up, your body starts losing heat faster than it can produce it. Hypothermia begins with shivering, but it doesn't stop there. As your core temperature drops, your muscles weaken, your judgment fades, and eventually your body shuts down. Many people have died in temperatures as high as 50 degrees Fahrenheit, simply because they got wet, cold, and didn't act fast enough. That's why preparation is everything. First, always check the forecast, but don't depend on it entirely. Mountains and dense forests create microclimates where the weather shifts quickly. Dress in layers, including a waterproof outer layer, even if the sky looks clear. Avoid cotton clothing. It holds water and drains heat. Instead, choose wool or synthetic materials that insulate even when wet. When a storm hits, stop moving and make shelter. Use a tarp, emergency blanket, or even branches and leaves to block wind and rain. Build a fire if it's safe to do so. Keeping your core dry and warm should become your #1 mission. Staying proactive instead of reactive could be the reason you survive the night. Remember, hypothermia isn't about freezing to death. It's about losing heat faster than your body can create it. And in the forest, that line can be crossed far more easily than you think. Water is life until it's not. In the forest, the lack of clean drinking water is one of the fastest ways your survival can spiral into a life-threatening situation. You might be surrounded by rivers, streams, and puddles, but if you drink untreated water, you're gambling with your health. Many natural water sources look clean, but can be contaminated with bacteria, parasites, or animal waste. One sip of Giardia or E. coli-infected water can cause severe diarrhea, vomiting, and dehydration, turning a bad day into a medical emergency. What makes this danger worse is how quickly dehydration sets in, especially if you're exerting energy by hiking, building shelter, or dealing with heat. You can lose a surprising amount of water just through sweat and breath, and in survival conditions, you may not notice the signs until your energy, focus, and decision-making start to deteriorate. After 72 hours without water, your organs begin to fail. To avoid this, you must treat any water you find before drinking it. The safest method is boiling. Bring it to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute. If you don't have a pot or fire, water purification tablets or portable filters are essential. Even charcoal and sand layered in a bottle can work in emergencies. Rainwater is usually safe to drink, but avoid collecting from leaves that could be coated in bird droppings or bacteria. If you're planning to spend time in the wild, never go in without a way to purify water. Dehydration is a silent killer, one that creeps in quickly and strikes harder than people expect. The forest may offer water everywhere, but only the smart know how to make it safe. When people imagine forest dangers, wild animals are often the first thing that comes to mind, and for good reason. While most wildlife avoids humans, a single misstep can turn a calm environment into a life-threatening encounter. Bears, mountain lions, snakes, and even wild boars can become aggressive if surprised, threatened, or if you're unknowingly intruding on their territory. What makes these encounters dangerous is not just the animal, but your reaction. One of the most common mistakes is improperly storing food. Leaving food in your tent or cooking where you sleep sends a scent trail that can attract predators from miles away. Bears in particular have an incredible sense of smell and won't hesitate to investigate. Always store your food in airtight containers and hang it from a tree at least 10 feet off the ground and 100 feet from your camp. With snakes, the danger lies in where you step or place your hands. Venomous species often hide in leaf piles, under logs, or sunning on rocks. Never reach blindly into dark areas, and always use a stick to move debris or check ahead when walking through dense brush. If you encounter a mountain lion, never run. Running triggers a chase instinct. Instead, stand your ground, make yourself look bigger by raising your arms or opening a jacket, and speak firmly while slowly backing away. If it charges, fight back with everything you have. Staying safe in animal territory requires awareness. Make noise while hiking to avoid surprising creatures, keep a clean camp, and learn the wildlife habits of the region you're in. Nature isn't evil, but it is wild. Respecting the animals that live in the forest and understanding how they behave is one of the most important survival skills you can develop. Awareness and preparation turn a deadly threat into a manageable risk. Getting lost in the forest is one of the most terrifying and dangerous situations you can face. It happens far more easily than people think. All it takes is one wrong turn, following a game trail instead of the main path, or chasing a sound or animal into unfamiliar terrain. Dense trees, uneven ground, and limited visibility make it shockingly easy to become disoriented, even if you've been to the area before. The real danger comes when panic sets in. People begin walking in circles, burning precious energy in daylight, often heading further from safety. The key to surviving being lost is to stop immediately. It may sound simple, but most people make their situation worse by trying to find their way out without a plan. Sit down, take deep breaths, and assess your surroundings. Can you retrace your steps? Are there markers, like broken branches or footprints, you can follow? If not, it's often safer to stay put and signal for help, especially if someone knows your general location. Always carry a basic navigation kit, a map, compass, and if possible, a GPS device. Even a simple whistle can be a lifesaver, carrying sound farther than your voice. Creating visible signals like large ground symbols from rocks or logs, bright clothing, or smoke can attract rescuers from above. The best prevention, though, starts before you even leave home. Tell someone exactly where you're going and when to expect you back. Take note of trail markers, landmarks, and even the sun's direction as you move. Getting lost isn't just a possibility, it's a real threat that takes lives every year. In the forest, every step counts. Move with awareness, carry basic tools, and remember, staying calm and still can be the smartest move of all when you're unsure which way to go. Injuries in the forest can turn from manageable to life-threatening within hours, especially when you're far from help. Unlike in the city or even a campsite, a twisted ankle, deep cut, or fall from a slope in the wilderness can leave you immobilized and vulnerable. With no one around to call 911 and no signal in most deep forest areas, your only option is to rely on your knowledge, preparation, and mental composure. Even minor injuries can escalate quickly. A small cut left untreated can become infected, especially in humid environments where bacteria thrive. A sprained joint without support can make walking impossible. Blisters, often dismissed as minor, can cripple you on long hikes. And a fall can lead to broken bones or head trauma that makes movement and survival nearly impossible without aid. That's why a compact, well-stocked first aid kit is non-negotiable in any survival or hiking setup. It should include antiseptic wipes, gauze, bandages, a tourniquet, painkillers, tweezers, and blister pads. Even better, learn how to improvise in case your kit runs dry, like using cloth strips for bandages or sticks and paracord to make a splint. Knowledge of basic wilderness first aid can be just as important as any tool. Another critical aspect is caution. Always be mindful of where you step, especially on wet rocks, steep trails, or unstable ground. Use trekking poles or a sturdy stick for balance. Move slowly in unfamiliar areas, and never rush through tough terrain just to save time. Injuries are one of the top killers in wilderness survival, not because they're always severe, but because people aren't prepared to handle them alone. Your body is your greatest asset out there. Protect it. Move with intention. Treat every wound immediately, and always plan as if help might not come for days. One of the most overlooked but deadly dangers in the forest comes from above. Falling trees and branches, often referred to as windowmakers. These are dead or dying limbs hanging precariously from trees, often hidden high above where you may not think to look. During wind, storms, or even light breezes, these branches can snap and fall without warning. They're called widowmakers for a reason. Many campers and hikers have been severely injured or killed by them while sleeping or resting beneath the wrong tree. The danger isn't just from massive trees. Even smaller limbs, when falling from a height, can cause traumatic injuries like concussions, broken bones, or internal damage. The scariest part? They often give no warning. No creaking, no sound, just a sudden crash that can change everything. To avoid this silent threat, always take a moment to scan the canopy above before setting up camp, taking a break, or building a fire. Look for dead limbs, cracked branches, or trees leaning at odd angles. If you spot anything questionable, move to a safer location. Even trees that look alive might have rot or weakness inside, so trust your instincts and give yourself space from any potential hazards. This is especially important during or after storms. High winds weaken branches and can leave them dangling just barely attached. After the storm has passed and the sky is clear, many people let their guard down, unaware that the forest above may still be full of unstable limbs. Staying safe in the forest means looking in all directions, including up. Widowmakers don't care how skilled or experienced you are. They fall when they fall. Taking just 30 seconds to inspect your surroundings can prevent a lifetime of regret. In the wild, awareness isn't optional. It's survival.